at 6:46. 2.0, call to order, 3.0 roll call. Sabrina Gomez,
Here.
Ruben Macarino,
Here.
Alice Lopez,
Here.
John Vasquez,
Here.
and myself here. Could we please stand for the flag salute?
If our family can lead us in the pledge? Do you know how to do the pledge, man? If not, this is where you're gonna learn. You gotta be a good tornado. Let's do it. Good job. Let's give our young man a round of applause. It's almost like that saying, from the mouth of babes, right? So that's awesome. Thank you.
It is awesome.
4.0, adoption of the agenda. 4.1, adoption of the agenda is requested as presented.
Move with the addendum.
Yes.
Alice Lopez,
Second, Sabrina.
Sabrina Gomez, all in favor?
Well, right before you
Hold on.
vote, sir, I just want to
Hold
make
on.
sure that we're moving,
15.7 forward,
yes, we're moving 15.7 up
and
to,
15.7 is removed.
No.
no, 15.7, we're putting it up before 15.4.
13.7 is removed.
13.7 is being pulled at this time. It'll be brought
Exactly.
back at a later date.
All right, okay. Okay? Okay, 5.0 consent calendar. 5.1 approval of regular scheduled board.
I'm sorry, did
I'm
we
sorry,
finish
we-
with the vote? We
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
finish.
I'm sorry. That's 5.0, is that correct?
Yeah.
5.0. 5.0 consent calendar. 5.1 approval of regular scheduled board minutes.
Move.
Second.
Alice Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5.0. 5.2, approval of release warrants dated July 13th, 2023, in the amount of $867,654.12. July 27th, 2023, in the amount of $875,898.96.
Move.
Alice Lopez,
Second.
John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 6.0, awards presentation. 6.1, introduction of new administrators.
If I could have the site administrators come on up and introduce their new staff, and I want to, administrative staff that is, and I want to take this opportunity to, we'll start off, I want to introduce to the board our new principal at Freedom, Isidro Rodriguez. Do we give him a round of applause? I figure, who's going to introduce you? I will. You want to say a few words, how it all started? No, I'm just kidding.
Back in 19. I want to thank you again for this opportunity. Dr. Chavez, thank you again for believing in me and the board as well. And then the colleagues over here, they've been real supportive, as well as all staff members on site. So I appreciate it. Again, thank you again, and we'll hope for, it is going to be a great year. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Juana?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Chavez. I want to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Mori. He is our new assistant principal at Hester Elementary. He also had the opportunity to go to MTSS conference, and we had some amazing ideas from there that we're going to implement this year. He brings with him his wife, Mrs. Mori, Layla Mori, and Apollo, who is also joining our Hester family.
All right.
So,
All right.
Welcome.
welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, board. Good evening, educational partners. I have the honor and pleasure of welcoming my assistant principal, Jenny Ogando, and her lovely husband and her son. We're here as well.
Welcome.
She's been a wonderful addition to our staff. Also attended MTSS conference, cares about kids, was with me over the weekend preparing for today's professional development with our staff. She's a hard worker, speaks 5 languages, so just wonderful to have. Okay.
Fantastic. Welcome.
We're trying to recruit her to do the translations.
Good evening, board. Thank you, Dr. Chavez. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I have the pleasure of introducing our very own Trista Waymeyer. Because Ms. Paz left us, we had to. She started mid-year in November, and straight from the classroom is real in touch with our teachers, getting that teacher voice, which is also important. So much right now as we look at education. So she's been a blessing to have, and I'm very thankful. Thank you, Ms. Waymeyer.
You know, even to becoming like brothers and sisters. There's a lot of grass around in there. My AP is Mr. Russell Billings. He went back to go pick up his wife in Fresno, and they got stuck in traffic in Selma. And then there's 2 car accidents on the 99, so he's barely passing Mooney. But I guess I could talk to him when he comes in, and we can acknowledge him. But he has 23 years of classroom direct instruction teacher. He's worked with at Fresno State for 2.5 years, coaching teachers. Currently, he's a COS adjunct working with future teachers, so he has a lot of that experience. But a lot of classroom management type of things because in the AP role regarding those discipline and making connections with kids. So super excited to have him. He's already done stuff about facilities and safety and that sort of thing. So he comes with a lot of systems approach type of ideas, which is going to be beneficial for us. So when he gets here, then we'll see him.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You met him at the breakfast, right? You got it?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. 6.2, presentation, expanded learning program, the after-school program,
Ms. Alma?
with a new name.
Yes. Oh, no wonder I saw the little mouse moving, and I'm like, is that me moving it?
It's
Chris.
possessed, it's possessed.
Chris, can you put
Yes,
this?
I was like, oh, maybe I'm so nervous that I can see 2 things going. Good afternoon, board members, Dr. Chavez, admin, administrators, teachers, community members. My name is Alma Espinosa, and I'm going to be presenting to you about our expanded learning program. All right. Some topics that I'm going to be touching today is going to be about our summer STEAM program, as well as our morning and our before and after school program, and what's new. All right, so let's start with our summer STEAM program. We offer the summer STEAM program June 5th all the way to July 14th. It was 6 weeks, 6 wonderful weeks, to be honest. We served 180 students, TK to 12th grade. I created a video for you guys to see all the wonderful things that we did in the program. So, Chris, you can go ahead and push play. Is that me? Do I put that information? Yes. The sign in? Oh, okay.
Technology.
Worst case scenario, we can close our eyes and imagine a bunch of kids having a great time.
Yes, please.
Does anybody here need a translator? I'm sorry I didn't ask earlier. No? No. Okay. So, thank you, Vero. Very well.
Oh, can I make it big?
Oh.
That's what's up. Alexander, what did you make today?
Helicopter
With what?
powered by sunlight.
Solar panel? Good job, bud.
This has to be facing upward.
That was a professional.
That was a teacher,
And to be honest, it was almost 10 minutes, so I kind of had to take so many pictures out. Because I was like, oh no, I can't do that long. But that was our summer STEAM program. We focus in robotics, everything that had to do with science, engineering, technology, art, math. We focus on those. And our students had a wonderful time. They are going to have something to talk about when they go back to school of how their summer was. So that happened over the summer. And then for the morning and after-school program, we are going to continue serving students in the morning program, and that's going to start at 6:30 in the morning, all the way until school starts, even on late starts. The students will be there anywhere between 6:30 to 9 in the morning. And this services will be offered at our elementaries. Currently, we have about 65 students, Hester, Snowden, and Freedom. And we focus on academics and enrichments. That's on the morning program. And then for the after-school program, we currently have about 485 students enrolled, and that is growing because we're still getting a lot of applications or a lot of interest in the program. In the program, we offer academic enrichment, homework help, physical activity. And we currently have 43 staff members, and we also have new to this school year assistant site leads at the sites. This year, we're going to for the first time, be doing the Big Brothers Big Sisters. We met with them today, and they told us how we're going to be recruiting our students. We're going to be serving approximately 80 students. And that's going to be for Hester, Snowden, Freedom, and the middle school as well. So I'm really excited about that. And then we'll also be having, it's okay, Chris. We'll also be having, continue having our teachers to offer an enrichment club if that's something that they would like, something that they're passionate. So that will also increase our numbers in the program. We've been receiving funding, which is the ELOP, Expanded Learning Opportunity Program. And with that, we hope to open new positions to better service our students in the after-school program. So if you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Sabrina?
I do. For your morning program that starts at 6:30, do the students have to be there at 6:30, or is it in?
Great question. So the latest that the student can be go to the morning program to be considered part of it is at 7:15.
Oh,
7:15 because that's the time that they open the doors. And then for the Monday late start, 7:45.
okay. Yeah, because the buses come pretty early. Are they, so they do get fed breakfast. Are they in a separate area? Are they in the cafeteria, or where?
So when they come in, because there's no students at that time and it's only our group, we stay in the cafeteria. Once they start transition, students start coming in, we head to the classrooms to do enrichment. After that, we head back to the cafeteria to have breakfast with the rest of the students, and then they exit outside to, we call it recreational activity, but they go outside.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I do have a friend whose child started did the summer program, and when he found out he was signed up, he was like, "You're ruining my whole summer." And once he started going, he was like in love. So thank you for.
Registration is May 9th
Okay.
for the summer program.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I put my son
have
in, but
time.
now I know.
I already posted. I was like,
Thank
May
you.
9th. You're very welcome.
Ruben?
All righty.
I was just gonna say, what a great summer presentation you did. Just make me want to go out there, and it brought me a lot of memories of when our schools also did that sort of thing. But this is so much nicer. So congratulations on that program. How late is your after school? How long do you stay open for students?
6 o'clock. So
6
our
o'clock.
program ends at 6 o'clock.
And what happens for those students that aren't picked up or don't go home? I figure they walk.
No, you're right. We have had those situations where it is 6 to 10, 20, 6:30, even 7 o'clock.
Okay.
That for some reason, maybe parents thought that the uncle or the grandma was going to pick him up, and
okay.
there's that miscommunication, or especially in December, because those parents are shopping during that time.
Yeah.
But before, if we can't get a hold of anybody that are that are in their contacts, we'll look at Aries and see who else they have.
Oh, okay.
Worst case scenario is calling PD.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
If it has only happened maybe once or twice, but
Okay, so-
it has happened.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Alice?
No questions, I just, thank you. It looks like not only are they having fun, but they don't realize they're actually learning probably at the same time. So, that sounds wonderful, looks wonderful, keep it going. Awesome job.
John?
Doing a fantastic job. One question. You said you're gonna partying up with Boys and Girls Club? I mean, Big Brothers, Big Sisters?
Correct.
Okay. Are you gonna be able to utilize our high school seniors as well to get into that program?
Yes, so they're the ones that are going to be our big brothers. They're the ones that are going to be our mentors and going to the schools
Fantastic.
to be the mentors for our little ones.
Fantastic. Doing a great job. Keep it up. You and your staff.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I know my granddaughter was in the summer program. She liked putting bikes together and mechanical and stuff like that. You taught her a lot more than just makeup, so that's good. She loves the makeup. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, and just to add a little more to that is, we had initially we were going to service 80 students. That's what we were going to do for the summer. But when we did registration in May, the lines were long. Like, we finished there with 105 on the waiting list. So with Dr. Chavez saying, you know, let's go ahead. If we have the funding, let's go ahead and do it. So that's how we were able to double our numbers to serve all of our students. So, yeah.
Thank you.
One other quick question. Have you noticed since you started the program that it's been increasing every year? I mean, as far as the participation?
Yeah, because I think our little ones are the ones that go back to their parents and say, Mom, I want to be in the after-school program. Sign me up. Mom, because there are little recruiters that go. But yes, we've noticed
And the reason I
our
ask,
increase.
And the reason I ask is be prepared for this coming year as well, because it is a
Yeah,
great program.
and that's how we were hoping to, like, with the funding to open those positions, like I said, so we can continue serving our students, better serve our students on those areas.
And just a point of clarification, those little recruiters, they don't get paid, they don't get out of the general fund, so we're good.
It'll be from the ELOP. All right, well, then, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get around this, let's before we continue, Emily, if you don't mind just coming up, now that Mr. Billings is here, so you can do. Yeah. And I want to publicly ask forgiveness from Mr. Billings. The very first time that he came, I thought he was a vendor, and since nobody told me, I never introduced him because I didn't really know who he was. So I apologize, sir, publicly. I promise I will know who you are from this day forward. Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, our new assistant principal is Russell Billings. He has 23 years experience in the classroom and science fields of physics and chemistry. He's worked at Fresno State for 2.5 years, coaching teachers, currently COS adjunct, doing the same thing, working with them. He originally comes to us from Detroit and Flint, Michigan. Most recently Hanford West, so he's got a wide variety of knowledge. He's, I did say this first before, but he worked at NASA and 4.5 years for the education department. So he does have a lot of that background and connections and doing that stuff with kids. So we're fortunate to have him and looking forward to a good year.
All right, welcome.
And now we know that Ed Join extends all the way out to Flint, Michigan. So that's
Yeah.
Okay. 8.0, public comments. Members of the public may address the board on any agenda item or other items of interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Before, during the governing board's consideration of the item, the board is not able to discuss or take action on any item not appearing on the agenda. Pursuant to board policy, the board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes, individual topics to 20 minutes. Please begin your comments by stating your name.
Yeah, in addition, the board asks that during public comment, everyone is respectful of the speakers. Members of the public shall not interrupt or interject while another person is giving their public comment at the podium. During public comment, there shall be no use of foul language. Should a member of the public have a concern about a specific employee, we ask that you direct those concerns to me, the superintendent, after this meeting so that those concerns can be handled through the proper procedures. Please do not use employee or student names during public comment. At this point, Board President, we have one speaker card, Ms. Julie McIntosh.
Good evening, board members, employees, parents, and community members. My name is Julie McIntosh, and I'm a teacher at Farmersville. I wanted to wrap up my year as FTA president in June, but unfortunately, I dropped off the face of the earth for medical reasons from May until just recently. So thankfully, I am now fully recovered. My medical crisis combined with FTA achieving the majority of my goals led for me to resign from president in June to give me more time to spend with my family. It's been a very busy year for the union, and so rather than speak to the past, I thought I'd speak to the future. Firstly, I'm so glad that Richard Dybus is the new FTA president. He has my full confidence, and I've recently urged the teachers to put their full trust in him as well. Secondly, I have very high hopes for the future of Farmersville Unified School District. The culture for the employees is so different than it was about 2 years from today. I cannot wait to see how the change in the district culture for the employees will translate into student success, as we are all empowered to be the best teachers, administrators, and staff we can be. Thirdly, I give the credit for the majority of that change to the leadership of Dr. Chavez. Now, no one will ever be 100% happy with every single little decision another person makes. However, I am personally confident that having a leader with courage, integrity, and consistency is going to continue to make measurable changes in the performance of staff and students in our district. Thank you for all the time and attention you've given me as I addressed the board as FTA president this last year. Don't worry, or even celebrate, I'm not disappearing entirely. I have been appointed as FTA grievance chair again, but I look forward to it being a fairly easy assignment this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
8.1, superintendent comments.
Yes. Thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate that. I want to welcome everybody back. I really look forward to this year, and from the things that I've heard and seen, it looks like it's become contagious, the sense of positivity, and that is what's needed if we're going to do what's best for kids. And so I want to welcome everybody back. Yesterday we had an amazing event. I hope everybody here agrees. We had a wonderful breakfast and lunch. A little bit too much on the onions, but hey, you know what? It's all good. And we had a wonderful keynote speaker that did an activity with our students, well, in this case, his students, as he called them, remember, all of us, in making sure that we have a deeper understanding about deficit thinking, right? And making sure that that does not enter our classrooms, that we're always asset-based approach. In addition, there was a wonderful PD at all the sites today, and I've heard nothing but very positive energy and vibes. One of the PD sessions was held actually in this room, and I was holding meetings next door, and I could just hear the laughter and the applause. It was extremely contagious, till I couldn't contain myself anymore. I didn't want to interrupt, but I stepped out, and everybody was so engaged. I felt like in my principal days, I told my teachers, if I ever walk in the classrooms, please don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing. And they did. They kept doing what they were doing until I said, okay, I got to go now. And I left, and it was amazing. So I want to thank our wonderful site leadership. If we can give them a big round of applause. And that includes the APs as well, all of you, because at the end of the day, you are the caretakers of our children. You are the champions of our children. You are the ones that set the tone for our schools. And so with that, I'm eternally grateful, right? Eternally grateful for that. Next, just want to share that our very first back-to-school night, I'll be announcing the other ones as they come, but is tomorrow at Hester. Hester's holding their back-to-school night tomorrow at 5 o'clock because they want to hit the ground running and make sure that everybody's on the same page so that why in particular, well, Hester are the little ones. And that way the little ones, they know exactly where their classrooms are going to be, who their teachers are going to be, so they don't come the first day of school kind of lost. Though I want them to be, as they say in Spanish, como Pedro en su casa. I don't know how that translates. Like Peter in his house. I'll explain later. But anyway. And our first day of school is Thursday, the 10th, as we all know, and we look forward to having a lot of our students. I'll be out there at the different sites with members of cabinet and the district office to be out there, not to monitor, but to celebrate with you. Can we agree to that? I want to celebrate with you the coming of our babies to our schools. And then lastly, I just want to share that this year is going to be very unique. We're doing a paradigm shift from focusing on teaching to focusing on learning and making sure that our babies are learning. So our administrators and teachers have been signed up and aligned to various professional development opportunities throughout the year in order to polish our craft. We're really promoting the professional learning communities, the PLCs, student engagement, and again, building capacity even with our parents. So working together and making that change that is very much needed. And we're working at the district office and creating the ideal team that will wrap themselves around the school sites and provide the bell-to-bell, hands-on-the-clay type of approach in supporting all of our administrators, making sure that our teachers, our wonderful teachers, get everything they need. It's important that they feel supported, that they feel that there's people there that care, that they have someone to lean on, especially our new teachers, because the research has shown that the first 5 years we lose a lot of teachers because they feel discouraged, they feel like they don't have that support. And so that's why we're doing the restructuring that we're doing at the district office in order to make sure we get the right people on the bus, sitting in the right seat and driving in the right direction for our kids. So thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for all of your support to our students, and that concludes my portion of comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 11.0, high school issues. 11.1, ratification of the Ag Incentive Grant of 2023.
Move.
Second.
Carlos Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 12.0, curriculum. 12.1, approval of a contract renewal with Tulare County Office of Education, Occupational Therapy Service Agreement number 240332.
Move.
John Vasquez,
Second.
Carlos Lopez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 12.2, approval of National Education Foundation Partnership Agreement.
Move.
Carlos Lopez,
Second.
John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 12.3, acceptance of strengthening career and technical education for the 21st Century Act grant from July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. A GAN number VO48A230005.
Move.
Second.
Carlos Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 12.4, approval of agreement with the ERC Data Solutions.
Move.
Second.
Carlos Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 12.5, a ratification of Tulare County Office of Education Library Media Service Agreement, Mathematics Network Additional for Freedom Elementary, 2023-2024, agreement number 240340.
Move with a question.
Carlos
Second.
Lopez, John Vasquez, go ahead, Alice.
I know that last agenda, we had the junior high or one other school that didn't have the mathematics.
It was, yeah, it was the same school, Freedom, but it was for another subject matter. I know when I got this one, I thought, wait a second, we did this one already, but this is for math, the other one was for literacy.
I thought it was math.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken,
For-
for last board meeting.
Okay,
But
I just
they're
want to
two
make
different-
sure, that we have all our schools covered.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah, my understanding is Freedom was the only one that was the outlier, for whatever reason, but now they're all in.
Okay,
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-0. Uh, 13.0, personnel. 13.1, approval of certificated personnel. Item 13.1.1 through item 13.1.10.
Move.
John Vasquez, Ruben Macarino, all in favor?
Aye.
Oppose 13.1.1 and 13.1.2.
13.1.1, 13.1.2. Okay, so we have a 4-1 on those two items, 13.1.1, 13.1.2, and then we have a 5 vote on the remaining.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4-1. Approval of classified personnel, item 13.2.1 through item 13.2.6.
Move.
Alice Lopez.
Second.
Sabrina Gomez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 13.3, Personnel Action Report, information only. 13.4, approval of bilingual authorization, subsequent waiver to teach dual language, grade 3 for Carissa Amesca Sanchez.
Move.
Alice Lopez,
Second.
John Vasquez, all in favor?
Is that
Aye.
Sabrina?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Sorry. Sabrina Gomez on second. All in favor is aye.
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 5-0. 13.5, approval of FTA salary settlement agreement for speech language pathologist.
Second.
Was that you, Alice?
Yes.
John Vasquez, second. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 13.6, approval of a corrected salary schedule for coordinator for the MTSS.
Move.
John Vasquez,
Second.
Ruben Macarino, all in favor?
Aye.
No.
Opposed? 4-1?
Yes.
4-1. 13.7, approval of college and career
That was,
court.
that was
One's
pulled.
deleted.
Oh, that was pulled.
Yeah.
Okay, 14.0, board business. 14.1, approval of scheduled board tour for facility and tour of old firehouse.
We have to decide on the date, yes?
Yeah, so,
Neither of those dates are good for me.
me either, but I don't need to go. I can do the tour of facility another day, but I can't make the fire thing, so.
I think we,
Want to do another date?
yeah, we need to figure out other dates that we are available.
What we can do is we can approve the item, and then we
Then-
could ask Rosemary to pull the board for another
Another
date.
date?
Is
Give
next
us a
week.
list instead of just two.
Yeah, would you like another transmittal with the next board meeting? That would push it out till August 22nd.
No, I mean, if we can just agree,
We can pull the board and,
pull the board on another date, because
Yeah.
the current dates are not
so
good.
we'll pull the board until we secure the 5-0.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure the chief will be willing to. Okay, but we
Okay.
can still vote on approving the tour.
Okay, motion?
To approve the tour?
Yes.
Second.
John Vasquez, Alice Lopez?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 14.2, consideration of any item any member of the board wishes to have on a future agenda or provided a written update. Sabrina?
So from our last meeting, I did request, where we were, for the fee waivers financially, or do
Yes,
we,
ma'am.
do we have that?
That'll be a presentation today.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, Ruben?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alice?
Yeah, we'll wait until after the schools get started.
Yeah. John?
Same here.
Okay, nothing not today, all right. 15.0, business services. 15.1, approval of student accident insurance.
Move.
Second.
Alice Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 15.2, approval of American Incorporated bid for the new air conditioning at the Farmersville High School kitchen.
Second.
Ruben Macarino, Sabrina Gomez, Any questions?
I thought we had already done this. I mean, something's, I thought he had, or did they just repair the old one for a while?
No. Yeah, the kitchen is a whole nother issue, and they only have one person bid, and that was the case, right? So American Air is the only one that bid on it.
So the project went out to bid.
Yeah,
So that's what we approved, for it to go out
yeah,
to
go
bid?
out to bid.
Okay.
All right, okay. Any more questions? Okay, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
Sorry, ladies, that we couldn't get it in there before.
Yeah, I know. 15.3, approval of American Incorporated contract for the new air conditioning at the Farmersville High School kitchen. You got
Move.
two.
Second.
Alice Lopez, Sabrina Gomez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 15.4,
Seven.
oops, 15.7, 15.7, facility project and use updates.
And then Jason will circle back at the end for the geo funds. So Pat, if you could please start off by speaking to 15.4, 5, and 6, so the board has the background information, and then you can do the rest.
Okay.
Because we also have a request by Ms. Gomez regarding the facilities use.
Correct. Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Pat. I'm the Director for Maintenance Operations, Transportation, and Facilities. My pleasure to provide an update. I will start off with the ratification that is on the packet this evening. That goes in the board-approved solar program, and then also the CTE welding booth project. So those are the surveys that are required to get completed to keep the project moving forward. So that's what the ratifications are. Any questions?
So it costs us to keep the ratification going?
The cost is to keep the project going. So these are costs that are part of the project for the surveying. These are the surveying costs.
Yeah, we had a cost for engineering costs. Any more questions on that one?
It's an estimated cost.
You don't know, off the top of my head, was estimated cost, I want to say, was that $30,000 or something like that? Is that what it was?
I can provide a board with an update
That would be
on,
fine, yeah.
on the cost.
Yeah, okay.
Would that be for each project, or would that, because the solar project is
It's separate.
contracted,
Yeah, that's separate.
it's separate.
But we're basically talking about CTE and the welding.
I can provide the board an update with that.
Okay.
Next,
Oh, just really quick, the letter that came in from, AW Engineering, that came in April. That was one of my questions, why we hadn't had it on the agenda earlier.
so I've been updating with our architect firm, and as he presents the information to me, then I go ahead and present it to Dr. Chavez, and also Jason Caff. So this is what was presented recently prior to the board meeting, and I wanted to make sure to expedite it because I noticed the date on it as well.
So, in order to keep the timeline for the solar, that's why I had to go ahead and move forward in order to not delay.
Correct. Correct.
I know I'm just repeating what you said, but just.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Good?
Any other questions? Okay.
Okay.
So I put it at the end, but I'll go ahead and bring it forward first. There is a pamphlet that I put out to you on the facility use fees waived in 2022, 2023. So after long extensive searching, there were 17 facility use agreements waived, totaling $42,627 waived last year. So that would include all the different ones. There was a question on that from the last board meeting. I just wanted to provide that information to you. Okay. All right, so we'll start off with the high school. The chiller project is in operation. So far, the administration office has been completed. Building 400 is up and running. Still waiting on control boards that the manufacturer forgot to put in the units, but we were able to, PacWest Controls, one of the contractors, was able to get the classes up and running for air conditioning for our staff and students. So the gym wiring is all the wiring in the gym and the library is pre-done. The units will be installed on the gym during a time when there's no activity. They had to do additional concrete pouring on the roof to support the system. And so they have those units, they ran out of time. And then on the library, that unit will be coming in later, October, November, to be installed. The contractor hasn't received it yet from the manufacturer. So we're waiting on the manufacturer to get it delivered to the contractor. So the main portion of the chiller, which are the big boxes you see by the 800 building towards the street, those are scheduled for next summer due to they're still building them. The contractor doesn't have them on site yet. I believe those are going to be May of 2024 when the contractor's supposed to receive them at this point. So they are pushing and checking with the manufacturer and trying to expedite the best they can. But there is a backlog of units going out all over California. So we're not the only school in the situation, school district in that situation. Number two there, new lockers have been installed for the boys' locker room. The number of lockers will be, the numbering of the lockers, I don't know why that one was on there. We have 518 lockers for the boys' locker room now. That's over it's twice as much as there was before we started. So I think that's a good thing. The home ec room, that one there was completed this summer. New countertops, stovetops, filtration, dishwashers, sinks. It's been repainted in there. I cleaned it this morning and it looks amazing. Wow. And so, yeah, it's really good. So when we go through our walkthrough of sites, I'd like to stop by and take a look at it. It was a coordinated effort to try to get it done by June, but we did make it happen. Also the 16 portables at the high school, the outside siding that was dry rotted was replaced by our own maintenance team. They did a great job. They repainted the outside as well. So that took a little bit longer. They're back on maintenance duties now. But at least that project is in good shape and we're pretty sound. Next summer, we plan on going into the junior high and start doing the same thing in June. So the custodians are on schedule with their classrooms. We had a little delay at the high school, but we're making it work with getting the 400 up and ready. So everybody's been very good about participating, helping, and getting that on board. The contractors ran into a couple days longer, kind of threw off some cleaning schedules, but we'll be ready for the first day. At the junior high school, there's been a lot of bright painting around the site, identification on poles, fences, grounds. There's a transformer located on the outside of a building, and we went ahead and fenced it. And this is to help with the direction and safety for our students on the campus. They know where to come in, they know where to go. It creates pathways. I think it's a really good idea. The custodians there are on schedule. Moving of the classrooms is finally completed on all sites. That was a pretty good challenge this year. And then we also had a floor repair. There used to be a skate park in there on room 44. big dips in the flooring where old books sat for years. But it was repaired by our maintenance team, and then the carpet shop came in and put new carpet in there, so it's ready for students.
What kind of flooring?
It's a subflooring. It's a portable classroom. The carpet is an industrial multicolor carpeting, and it should hold up for quite some time.
Okay.
Yep. I've used it at other, my last district, and they still look good, and they're over 10 years. So, yeah. Also, we are working on, if you stop by the junior high, the front office, the Friday before administration came in, the air conditioner went out. It was 20 years old. It did its time. We found I think it was a 30-month lead time to replace it. We just happened to have a temporary one, and our amazing maintenance team found some flex duct and made it work. But we do have next week Kings County Air coming out to install a new unit there. So at Freedom School, we received an estimate for a new irrigation well. And that well will supply the irrigation for Freedom and the high school. They're all one line right now due to the fact that the well is starting to get low at the high school. That estimate came in at $195,000. And after checking with legal, the recommendation was to go out to an informal bid, which requires legal to handle putting it out to bid to our contractors that do well drilling, 2 to 3 contractors. So it expedites it a little quicker. So everything was checked out there. Working on the process with legal now to get that expedited. That new well will be located on the east side of the front of the cafeteria. It'll be a 400-foot well. It'll be a 20 horsepower motor. There will be a 5,000-gallon tank there. So the well will be supplying that tank, which will irrigate the campus here, but it'll also supply water to the tank, which irrigates the high school, so there won't be as much stress on motors, bowls, and equipment. So, and for future growth next door in the vacant property, it can handle up to a third 5,000-gallon tank as well. So I wanted to make sure to plan for the future. Snowden School, all the teachers' rooms pretty much completed. We'll be working next week on preparation for Williams, and we worked this week on it as well. The HVAC system at Hester and at Snowden are completed. I just received the notice from the inspector, so we'll be going for a certification on those so we could close those out. So they are up and running, and wow, what a difference in those rooms. So Hester irrigation well is complete. So it is fenced off where the pump location is for student safety. I've also had a landscape company, Quality Landscape, come out and go through our complete irrigation system because it sat so long. There were several problems that had to be addressed on the system, and we found out that that system was very outdated, and they were able to do the repairs, and everything is up and running now. New window screens for the portable classrooms were replaced. Those were pretty shot. The marquee for Hester has been selected by the principal. Found out that it was about $200,000 for that marquee, which I thought was very pricey. So we wanted to go in with our other schools that didn't have marquees, and I'm going to be going out to other vendors to try to get some better pricing and try to collaborate and get a group pricing versus just an individual. So that way all of our sites can benefit from it.
Is there all computerized?
I'm sure they will be. There hasn't been any selection yet. I want to bring some vendors out and see some different choices, but I'm sure they'll be computerized.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay. TK Classrooms, the district received a bid packet from Integrated Design. The bid packet is ready for reviewing and approving. We're also into the California Department of Education. We're looking in to approval for the project before we continue to move forward. The old firehouse. We received a proposal from Integrated Design worth over $600,000 to remodel it. My recommendation is to go out to bid for roofing and central HVAC work and have the MOT staff complete grounds work, electrical, plumbing, painting on the project. There will be some renovation of maybe some asbestos or lead that we can address. But after talking with Dr. Chavez and the group today, we're going to try to proceed forward, trying to do as much as we can in-house. We have a very talented MOT staff, and I believe that we can make this happen for much, much less. So we are going to be working on providing estimates and costs for that. FHS scoreboards for the gym. I just checked in with Mr. Davis today. The vendor, they are almost complete putting them together, so we should see those arriving in about 2 weeks. The installation will be about 2 to 3 days, so it should be in the next few weeks. We should see new scoreboards in the gym. So other than that, I'd like to open up to any questions that the board may have. Britta?
We have a great MOT staff. They
Yes.
were really busy this summer.
Yes.
No questions at this time that I can think of.
Okay.
They might come.
That's
Ruben?
I second what she just said.
Alex?
Yeah, I'm also glad that we're utilizing our MOT, and that builds also what they're learning, which is probably a lot different than they've done before. I do have some questions. The TK classrooms, when I was trying to look at the diagram, how far out are you coming? Are they going to be even with the current classrooms, or are we going beyond that as far as building?
It will be in line with the current classrooms. We're not going to be going beyond those classrooms. I just received an updated layout, and I can provide that in an update as well to share with you. And it gives the location of the existing buildings, and then the new parking lot, the new structures, the modulated structures in there as well. So we're trying to keep everything in line with the current, so that way we can utilize the field space in the back.
Exactly. We don't want to cut into the
Correct.
limited field space we have. Also, with the firehouse, of course, we haven't even toured it, so I don't think it's a for sure thing right now.
Right.
It's just a possible. And busing, where are we? You said we piloted last year the busing for the junior high.
So
and high
yeah,
school?
the busing went well last year for the junior high and high school. And we have it on the schedule this year. We were getting on average between 20 and 40 students over the year. We started out very onesie twosies kind of, but it did build up throughout the year. I'm anticipating kind of like the extended learning program, as more and more people find that we're consistent with it, more and more students may ride it.
All right, so I guess that was my next question is, are we notifying parents? What form are we using to let them know that the busing is
So
available?
it does go out on Parent Square. It is up on the website. And so the parents are being informed. through the offices as well, that the transportation schedule's already up for this year, has been, I believe, for a week or two. So yeah, so they are being notified through the offices.
I do have
One,
something.
one additional, just before, one additional method that we can utilize if the board wishes is we can send it out what they call through snail mail, something that was done always in the past, but has been kind of walked away from now with new technology. You'd be surprised, a lot of times parents will see the flyer that's mailed out more so. So maybe we can work on, with the board like that.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, to get, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, you're good. So I don't know, I know, because I have my students at Freedom, and then I have one at the high school. I do know that I did have to fill out a form for my Freedom student as far as what transportation he was going to be taking. I don't know if that went out for the high school, because I didn't have to have something. But I did see the bus schedule, because on part of the form was, which bus is he taking? Well, I don't know until I received it
Right.
today. But the one thing that I do have a question on is the high school starts at 7:55, and I noticed for my daughter, the bus will come at 7:45. So if there's ever a delay on the bus schedule, how is that gonna work? Are you guys gonna?
So we have 4 drivers for the primary grades. And then they start at 6:15 in the morning, preparing and getting ready for the bus runs. This year, what we did is we did change, because junior high and high school start at a later time. So one of the drivers who will be driving will start at a later time as well.
What time does school start, Miss Coop? At 7:55?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, so they should be okay. And usually,
It's a very tight window.
yeah, and what we've found too, junior high and high school, it's a random with the students, because if it's a nice day and they want to walk with their friends or something, I know a lot of them are used to doing that, and I do see it. So, yeah.
Well, I'll be doing my best to encourage my kids to, you're getting on the bus.
Yes, please do.
So we have,
Please do.
and then with having the morning program for the school,
Yeah.
that was one of my things, because the bus comes for my son at 6:50, but for my daughter, it wouldn't be till 7:45. But as long as he has something to do, I'm good.
Well, one thing that we can do that's been done in other districts is if we give the list of the bus riders to the front office, that way they know that they're late because of the bus and not because of themselves, running late or the parent. And then we can work that out with attendance.
It would be
Make
more for
sure-
the older students, because for the younger ones, that
Yeah.
comes really early.
Yeah, this would apply primarily to the high school. So if we give that list to the front office as the kids come in, then that'll be, if it's because of the bus, it can be automatically excused. And they just
So
want to.
this year, we, just like in previous years, the drivers for the first 2 weeks will be doing the routes. And then we have the bilingual MOT staff to support and actually start taking names of the students that are riding to help with this, with the front office, to make sure that we're really true on who's riding and who's not riding. Because the junior high, high school level, oh yeah, the bus just dropped me off. Yeah, they never rode the bus. So, I want to make sure that we're really accurate on our bus counts and who our students are that are riding. So that way we do know.
Thank you.
John, any questions?
You didn't bring me an update in regards to the football scoreboard, the football stadium
I
scoreboard.
apologize for that. I will provide one Friday update.
Okay, appreciate that.
Yeah,
Because that's already, we need to do something about that as well.
Yeah, I know that the control board has been updated. Last week, Mr. Melendez worked with Mr. Davis on the putting the new control board, making sure everything was working. Okay, so I know that piece is done.
And just to provide some background, so we had to make an executive decision to do it in phases. So we wanted to do the inside because it was cheaper. The one outside in the stadium came at a very high bid. And so we wanted to make sure that we try to control the cost. So the inside should be installed, you said in about a month, correct?
Yeah,
About 4
about
weeks?
3 weeks.
And then we will pivot and working to get, because we know that that's pending as well for the high school, for the gym, for the stadium.
Yeah, that scoreboard's been up there for quite a long time.
That's original, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yes.
Okay, and then,
One other question beforehand. We only had one proposal for, I think, integrated design. Did we have any other proposals for anybody else?
Integrated design, and that's something I'll be bringing up in closed session. Integrated design is the district selection for architect. We would have to do an RFP to extend it out.
Okay.
And at that point, we decide whether we switch to someone else or we get a couple of them like we did with our legal. So I'll bring that up in closed session.
Good enough.
But that's why integrated design is seen so much.
Okay, thank you.
okay, and then, you know, as you're getting the pricing for the roofing, the air conditioning for the firehouse, asbestos removal, one bid, and then try to get some kind of a bid for our guys doing all the internal stuff.
Yeah, I was talking
We'll
with.
know where we're at and what we're gonna spend, yeah?
Yeah, I was talking with Dr. Chavez and the team this afternoon, and I can do a line item bid as far as what it's gonna cost for our staff, our materials, for us to do it in-house, along with those other estimated costs from outside vendors.
All right,
Yeah, everything we do, even regarding the firehouse, has to be board approved. All we're trying to do is make sure that we get the tour in and we get some kind of cost so that you can make an informed decision as to what is the best route, or not at all. It's totally up to the board, obviously. So
Right.
we want to just make sure that we get as much information as possible ahead of it as opposed to after the fact.
Are we gonna have any problem with the state? As far as them approving us doing work there?
No,
Not at all.
I've done it in the past at other districts myself. Being a licensed contractor, I don't see any problem with it. What I do is, while me and my staff are working on projects like that for schools, I do collaborate with our DSA inspector, that every portion of work, just like a regular job, is inspected, documented, and photoed. So that way, if there's any problems, usually there aren't any, because he'll address if there are. This isn't a classroom setting either. This is more of an adult, where we're gonna have adults and staff working there.
Okay, thank you.
And please know that the $600,000 estimate, I asked Mr. Hunt to present it to you for the purpose of transparency, but there's no way that we're gonna go, with that, we could build 5 houses, brand new, from the ground, in Farmersville. So that's extremely, extremely high. I don't know the motive, but we can go much, much cheaper. But that is our official architect. And again, I'll bring that up in closed session, in more detail.
Okay.
okay.
I have one other request, well, unless it's already been done. Can you make sure that whoever's using our fields and facilities during open houses knows not to practice during those days, because we have limited parking, and if they're practicing, there goes our parking. And we'd also want their kids and parents at the open house or back to schools.
I could definitely send a memo out to the staff and principals notifying, or we'll have to get something out to the public, and I'll contact the facilities, youth football, youth cheer, which are
Right.
using them right now,
Right.
And soccer
and soccer.
starts, yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah, it becomes a problem with parking.
yeah. Yeah. So, no, great idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we want to encourage attendance at
Yeah,
our,
of course, yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
15.4 then?
Do we go 15.4?
Okay. 15.4, ratification of the AWE Engineering and Engineer Preparation Grade Plan for the high school, CTE, Hester, and school solar improvements.
Motion.
Second.
Alice Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 15.5, ratification of the RMA Geoscience Survey and Engineering for the high school, CTE improvements, future maintenance and facility.
Move.
Second.
Alice Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0. 15.6, ratification of professional utility locating services for the utility locations for the high school CTE project and Hester School Solar Improvement.
Move.
Second.
Alice Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0, 15. 15.8, Geo Bond Committee update.
Jason, come on up to the podium.
Well, as the board may recall, back in 22-23, just a few months ago, the district had our first issuance on one of our GEO bonds. So we received about $2.8 million from our first issuance. That's currently sitting in the county treasury in Fund 212. But as a result of receiving GEO bond funds, we are required to have a GEO bond committee. So for the past couple months, we've been advertising for people who are interested in serving on the GEO bond committee. It's been on the website for the past few months. I think even Rosemary has, called certain people in the area to see if they were interested. Currently, we have 4 candidates who are interested in serving on the committee. Ideally, we would like to get 5, but we can't basically wait forever. So we thought maybe we would just give it 1 or 2 more weeks to see if we get any other candidates, to see if we can get to 5. And so we're going to give it about 2 more weeks. And whoever we have at that point, we're going to bring those candidates back to the board so the board can review the applications and either interview or appoint people to the GEO bond committee to oversee the GEO bond funds. This is a requirement of having GEO bond funds, is that we have to have a GEO bond committee. And every year, these funds in Fund 212, which are the GEO bond funds, those will be audited. And every year, the GEO bond committee has to review the audit of the GEO bond funds to make sure they were spent according to what the board desires to spend the funds on. So we just wanted to just to give the board an update as to where we're at regarding formation of the GEO bond committee.
Any questions?
So this, for the committee, it's going to be a commitment for a long period of time for them.
Yes, yes. Typically, the commitment will last for as long as we have the GEO bond funds. And given the fact that these GEO bond funds are scheduled about every other year, so it may take us about 5 to 6 years to get the entire allocation of GEO bond funds. So yes, it could be a 5 or 6 year commitment for people who sign up to be on the GEO bond committee.
Okay, and it's people within the community.
Yes, only people inside the city of Farmersville can serve on the committee.
Okay. I've been trying to recruit and tell people. We need you. Thank you.
So what happens when there's a vacancy? Do we just go through the process again and fill, present to the board, et cetera?
Yes, if by some chance somebody leaves the committee, then the committee would just drop down to, let's say, from 4 to 3, and we would proceed with 3 because we can't stop essentially.
Oh, okay.
But yes, we would keep advertising, and if somebody wanted to serve, we would once again bring that back to the board. And then you would appoint them to the committee, and then we'd be back up to 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yes.
But we need to start with 5 members.
5 is ideal.
Ideally.
Yeah, I mean, 5 is ideal, but in some instances we can't get to 5, and so 4 would be sufficient.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
So I know that you have to have from different areas in the community.
Yes.
Parent organization, you have to have someone that owns a business. What are we still lacking in our committee?
The majority of our applications for our parent-based. One of them is former board member who was an intern, now is not. So the others are from our community forum that came forward.
So we haven't gone out to the businesses that are from Farmersville.
I think we've reached out to some. I can't recall exactly.
Yeah. Quite a few, but for some reason they just don't want to.
We have reached out to the businesses. I'm sad to report that the vast majority of the business owners in Farmersville do not live in Farmersville.
Do not live here, huh?
And that's part of the requirement.
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes it more challenging.
Yes, but you are correct. There are certain like slots that ideally we would want to fill, but if at some point we get to the point where we can't find certain people to fill those certain slots, it's okay to just fill it with 4 or 5 people that live within the city of Farmersville, as long as we can show that we tried to, recruit from all these different areas.
And for seniors, have you gone to the seniors' locations to check, to drop off a flyer or anything like that?
I have not personally, but I can do that. I don't know if, no, I can,
It's on the website, but.
Yeah, they're not, Facebook is probably their biggest thing, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna be on there. So,
yeah. No, but I can go and post one tomorrow.
So you heard it here first. Mr. Caff will be going to posting it and going to the senior center
Can we,
tomorrow.
yeah.
there's two, just so you know.
Can we post something at the post office?
We can, I don't think
That's
I've been there, I don't think I've seen one recently, so if I can
That'd
post
be a
one there
good
as well.
spot too, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a really good
Post
frequent
office,
spot.
if we could post one, flyer at the post office too, since he's gonna be delivering them.
Yeah.
Post at the post office and the old firehouse, that's where I post our agenda. The site is on.
Can we do the bond there as well?
The flyer.
Yeah.
Like if the
Let's
flyer
get it
for-
to Jason, he'll make the round.
Yeah, I'll be out driving around. So.
Okay.
My question would be is, you mentioned something that if you have a business here, but you don't live here, you can't participate?
I believe that is the case, yes. It's my understanding that in order to be on the Geo Bond Committee, you have to actually live in the city of Farmersville.
You would think if there's a business that they would have interest in it, or even, in having some type of dialogue to go with that, to where the money goes. You would think.
We can double
Is
check that with
some-
legal.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
can
something
double
that
check.
Legal Beagle put, or we put together, or?
We can follow up with
I think it's
with
those
legal.
who voted for it have to be able to
The
have a
right to,
say.
exactly.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my
I-
understanding
I'm
is
just
that they also
Right.
have to live in Farmersville, but we can double check.
Yes.
Okay,
we can double
I was just only asking that.
You
Okay,
live in
thank you.
Farmersville?
I have one more, a quick question. I know that if, for instance, in the city, if you're gonna serve on a commission or a committee of some sort, you cannot be an elected official. But in terms of the school bond, can the person be an elected official? In other words, a city councilman or part of their commission or something?
Honestly, that's a good question. I haven't asked that one to our bond council, but I can do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you ask that?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Already, thank you.
No. Okay. No more questions?
Our stakeholder or members of the committee have always been parents.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Caff.
move on.
And thank you for your voluntary work.
Yeah. 16.0, other business. 16.1, approval of agreement with Leadership Association, consultant services for the superintendent,
Motion for discussion?
John Vasquez.
Second for discussion.
Alice Lopez? Was that you, Alice?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, right here's dead. Okay, John, go ahead.
For this, and this is directed to Mr. Superintendent himself.
Mhm.
You have been at the job for a year already. Do you feel that you need a mentor?
Well, I could always use a mentor, but it is totally the discretion of the board. The reason why I posted it on the agenda, so you're aware, is that the initial was for a minimum of 18 months when it was first approved. But because they run on fiscal year, they had to resubmit it, kind of like when the sports have to resubmit for insurance, because they run on a different calendar. That's why it was a repost, and they normally do year. It can be amended, adjusted any way that the board would like to see fit. And if the board does not feel that the superintendent needs the mentor, then it just gets voted down. But I'm just presenting it to the board. So I have no opinion for or against. I will do my job regardless, but I just wanted to make sure, for the sake of honoring the original intent of it being an 18-month minimum commitment, if you recall in the wording, and because they don't work on an 18-month contract, they do year to year. That's why it was resubmitted, but it's
So
totally
they-
your discretion.
So in reality, they still have several more months because we approved the 18 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, yeah.
All right.
Any more questions?
Yes, so Mr. Juan Garza, this is who we used for our,
Yes, I figured for the sake of familiarity, because the board is familiar with him, he's familiar with Farmersville.
and that was part of the services that was in that, like for him to come and
No,
present
that-
to us.
That's-
that
No,
an
that was
additional-
separate.
Separate
Separate.
contract.
Okay, so this is strictly for you.
Yeah, I have no control over the cost, that's just what it is, but that's why I just wanted to submit it. It's up to the board if they feel that it is needed or not needed. So, and that's how you'll vote. I'm okay either way.
One more question,
Mm-hmm.
can I ask one more question before
Go
you
ahead.
ask Ms. Lopez, if you're gonna ask a question? When we first approved that, we approved $8,000, right? And we approved it for 18 months, correct, or am I wrong?
That is correct.
So you're asking for another $8,000 for the remaining, what is it gonna be, 8 more months to go?
Mhm.
That's for a whole year from,
So altogether, we're gonna pay him $16,000 after we approved 8,000 for the 18 months, correct?
Yes, that's a very good point. But I just wanted to bring it to you the way I received it. And then you decided we either up or down, or we can modify it. I can reach out and say, you know what, to modify the amount.
Alice, any questions?
no questions.
I just didn't want to make that decision in isolation. I wanted to put that at the feet of the school board to make that decision. I will do my job regardless, right?
Any more questions? We've got a motion by John, second Alice for discussion. Do we have a motion to approve?
Well, my question again of that, we already have approved the contract for 18 months at $8,000. Is he gonna fulfill that for 18 months?
Yes, I'll make sure that happens. I will bring that back to him.
If he fulfills I mean, like I said, we already approved 18 months for $8,000.
Mhm.
So I want him to fulfill the 18 months for $8,000.
And that's what I'll get for clarity. I
Do
want
you
to
need
make
that-
sure that he understands it that way as well.
Do you need that decision made tonight, or can it be made on the next board?
It can be whatever the board decides. It can be
Then-
tabled. I can get that
We'll table it
information
till
for you.
next time.
Table.
We're gonna table.
No worries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. 16.2, approval of legal services agreement from France Law Group for proposing of social media litigation. Motion for discussion?
Yeah, motion for discussion.
John Vasquez,
Second for discussion.
Alice Lopez. Sabrina, anything? Discussion?
Not yet.
Ruben?
No, not yet.
Alice?
Yeah, I don't know if we have to use this law firm in order to be in the, what is it called, the group or whatever?
Yeah.
And has our attorney, actually, our own counsel, looked at this contract to make sure that it is in our best interest?
Yes. And they even helped us with the wording and the format to do so. That's why you'll see it both in open and in closed session. So what the legal had recommended is to send this to closed session, this particular item, so we can hold the discussion in closed session. Because since it's litigation, it is a closed session discussion. And then we come back out to open session to either vote yea or nay.
Then we'll take it into closed session?
Exactly.
Closed session. 17.0, future meeting dates. 17.1, August 22nd, 2023, September 12th, 2023.
22nd, I won't be here. The 12th, I should be here.
We will miss you.
I know.
20.0, adjournment to closed session at 8:10 PM. 20.1, conference with labor negotiations, GC 54957.6. This is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated reps, agencies, designated representative, Dr. Sergio Chavez, Jason Kraft, Manuel Mendez, name of organization, FTA, CSEA Management. 20.2, conference with legal counsel, anticipation litigation. Intentionally litigation pursuit to paragraph 4 of subdivision D of Government Code 54956.9. Consideration of one potential case, social media, adolescence, addiction, personal products, liability, litigation, social media, litigation, item 16.2. 20.3, Public Employee Discipline Dismissal Release Complaint, Government Code 54957, 20.4, a conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8, agency negotiator, Brian Martin, attorney, AALRR, under negotiation price and terms. Okay.
So at this time, I'm Mr. Mendez and Mr. Caff. Everybody else is free to go. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
We're doing?
Yes. Go back to 16.
Once we open?
That's what you want?
That's 16-2.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Legal space.
16-2, you're right, I'm sorry.
Okay, back in open session. Back in open session at 8:57, is that correct?
One?
8:52?
Okay, that's good.
53? 8:53. Okay, we're gonna go back to 16.2. 16.2 is the approval of legal services agreement for the Franz Law Group for the purpose of social media litigation. Do I have a motion to accept or deny?
Motion to deny?
Motion to deny by John Vasquez,
Second?
Alice Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
So just for the sake of clarity, it's motion to deny.
Motion to deny.
Motion to
Alrighty, let's go back to 21.0, action taken in closed session. 21.1, conference with labor negotiations, GC 54957.6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated reps, agency designated representatives, Dr. Sergio Chavez, Jason Kraft, Manuel Mendez, name of organization, FTA, CSDA, and management. No action taken. 21.2, a conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation. It's the intention of the, lost it. Intention of the litigation pursuant to paragraph 4 of subdivision D of Government Code 54956.9, consideration of one potential case, social media, adolescent, addiction, personal products, limited litigation, social media litigation, item 16.2. Again, it is John Vasquez. Motion to deny, Alice Lopez the second, and it's a 5-0 on the vote. 21.3, public employee discipline dismissal release complaint, Government Code 54957. No action taken. And then 21.4, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8, agency negotiator, Brian Martin, attorney, AALRR, under negotiation, price and terms. No action taken. Okay. So we
can put that on.
The next agenda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So we'll put on the next
RFP
one, a request for RFP for the architect.
on the next agenda. Okay. 22.0 adjournment at 8:55.
Motion.
Alice
Second.
Lopez, John Vasquez, all in favor?
Aye.
I vote. All right.
All right.
You have anything for me to sign, Ms. Rosemary?
Thank you, everybody.
Huh? You got, well, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.